Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Let me greet everybody real quick. Abort and Hadu, Gudag, Ola, Oi to the Bang, versus Los, Bonjour, mes amis, Kid, Bawani, Konnichiwa, Ni Hao, Ni Ama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo, Havarigani, Assalamu alaikum, and Shalom. Alright, here we go with something that is very significant, but y'all need to listen to these details because I don't know if you caught what I caught. All right, and this come from off of Facebook again, and um, I'm gonna get to posting more content on Daily Motion, but this will also be on YouTube, Reluctant Nabi Neo. All right, this doctor, he gets 3 years for slipping an abortion pill to his girlfriend's tea, while women abort with no penalty whatsoever. All right, the reason why this story is important is it shows the blatant hypocrisy of the United States laws when it comes to the determination of a life that is in a woman. A woman gets to kill that life with no impunity whatsoever, all the way up to the third trimester in some states. But if a man decides that he does not want to have the child with the woman, and he somehow is able to underhandedly get her an abortion pill against her wishes, understand this, against her wishes, then he goes to jail. If she has the child against his wishes, she gets paid for 18 years. Every month for 18 years. If she does something against the man's wishes, she gets paid. If the man does something against her wishes to prevent that 18-year stuff, then guess what? He goes to prison. When I say that the United States is evil in the way that they do men, and we're talking about evil geniuses, as the scribe would like to say, because the people that are designing these laws are at the tippity top, and these laws do not much affect them. Any female that did this to the tippity top of the people, those people would have these women removed silently. You know, like they had Prince removed silently. Like they had Michael Jackson removed silently. Oh, they removed Bill Cosby for trying to show a more positive image of Afro peoples on television publicly. Understanding the people that have been doing that to us Afro-Indigenous people are the ones making up these laws because they know the women are evil and will follow evil. But in rare cases, you get women that show compassion. And by rare, I mean rare compared to the amount of women that will just really, really screw over a man. Remember, that's what all these women's movements are. They're not about equal rights. First of all, they want superior rights. They want to be treated with chivalry, while at the same time expecting to be able to strike, mutilate, cause harm to a man physically, while he do not get to do anything back. Some are finding out the hard way that that's not working. Many of us men would retaliate, and I do mean us men would retaliate if accosted by any female or any person, because we believe we have the right to defend ourselves. Wow, if nobody is accosting us, we would do nothing. We'd walk away. But here's the thing. When you take the risk out to the people that want to do evil, they'll do the evil. Period. So these women are hooking up with these doctors and stuff to extort money. And this is something that is not lost on these men. Understand this. Men are at risk for being men. Yet we're still going to be men. Because these women keep poking that sleeping bear. And the bear is about to wake up. Right now he's just brushing off the poke. But sooner or later, the bear will wake up and wreak havoc totally. And these women don't see it coming. Now, let's go into the story real quick. And I want to show you something else. But don't forget to get those thumbs up. Donations are needed. Because as you know, y'all know what I do for the community. So donations are needed. Like, share, subscribe. And when you subscribe, click the bell. If you're going to do it on YouTube. Daily Motion. Subscribe to Daily Motion too. Alright. And I'll leave a link to them in the description box. Alright. So, y'all will have that. And when you donate, remember, you always take care of home first. Period. Alright. So, let's look at this. A doctor who slipped an abortion pill into his pregnant girlfriend's tea was sentenced to 20 years in prison Friday. However, he will serve only 3 years. Brooke Fisk was dating Sikander Irman when the Arlington, Virginia doctor slipped a drug into her tea. He knew it caused her to have a miscarriage during a Washington, D.C., according to Washington, D.C. affiliate, ABC affiliate, WJLA. Okay, so here's the skimming. Fisk was 17 weeks pregnant. Alright? She was 17 weeks pregnant, went to visit Irma to discuss raising the child. So, I think what panicked him is she waited until she was 17 weeks pregnant to go tell him that she is having his child. That's one. And there was no way she was going to abort this child. Because as a Caucasian woman, she didn't have it with a Pookie or Ray Ray. She had it with a physician. That's two. Alright. So she goes to tell him. Alright, according to WROC. That's when he slipped into her tea, which caused her, slipped the pill into her tea, which caused her to go into premature labor hours later. She was rushed to the hospital, but the infant did not survive. Alright, this is what I wanted to break down here. The guy was arrested and pled guilty to fetal homicide. Understand this. The guy was guilty. No, the guy pled guilty to fetal homicide. Wait a minute. Isn't that what abortion is? Fetal homicide. This means that every woman that's been having abortions, according to this, every woman that's been having abortion and every doctor that's been providing abortion to the women that voluntarily went into the doctor to get an abortion, they're both guilty of fetal homicide. This woman is not. All right. This woman also argued against a stiff penalty for airmen. The doctor lost his license, faced a minimum 5 years to a maximum 4 years in prison for felony. The woman says this: the length of time that he serves in prison isn't what's important. Fist told WJLA. I think that it is really important that people know that if they are dealing with depression before they do something, they should reach out and get help. Ehrman's lawyer said that he was dealing with mental health problems at the time, including panic attacks, and had threatened suicide, according to WJLA. All right, this dude, Irma, is lucky for one thing, and maybe it would not have mattered in this case. Maybe he's lucky that that ain't a BAW and he's an Afro-Indigenous man. I believe this woman would have had compassion on any man that she was with. But then again, she's not a BAW. So compassion for men do exist with them, in action and not just in words. Think about that. Now, maybe she wanted a long-term relationship, but she was going to have a discussion as to how they were going to raise their child, not how they were going to raise her child. Notice the contrast here. The BAW, no matter who you are, is her child. Why? Because she gets benefits, she gets money, she gets to extort you. Maybe she was looking for the ring. Whatever this dude did, we do understand that as a doctor, he panicked. He probably panicked because he knows the stories of the American women and how they set up men that have made something of themselves. And the main extortion tactic that they have to keep you working for the rest of your 18 years. And he would have to work. He would not be able to retire because she would be getting doctor money once a month. So he risks going to prison for 3 years. That isn't all he risks. The other thing he risks is being deported. And he's from Pakistan. So understand this. Other things he didn't understand is that the way they deal with women in Pakistan is different than here. They stripped him of his license, but he'll still be a doctor in Pakistan. So in 3 years, all he has to do is keep up with the medical stuff. He's from Pakistan, so he may not be able to be wealthy over here. But at least he has something he could take to Pakistan with him as he's deported. And trust me, he'll probably be deported. What's the message in this? That people that tell you we are a nation of laws, and that's what makes us great, they're liars. As a matter of fact, our laws is what makes us the laughing stock and the big evil empire of the third world countries. We call them third world, but they seem to have a better grasp on life, righteousness, and fairness than any of us do over here. Why do we call them third world? Not because their lifestyle is inferior to ours. In fact, our lifestyle is inferior to those of the third world countries. We call them third world because of their weaponry. Because of their weaponry. Period. It's all about the military. Industrialized nations are only industrialized because of weaponry, the nuclear bombs. Understand that. It has never been about lifestyle, because they live a healthier, longer lifestyle than us when we're not meddling into their business. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Third world, huh? Yeah, their women ain't screwing them over. They don't have the problem with the women actually destroying the country before their eyes that the women here are doing to the United States. This feminist mess, they don't have a problem with this. They actually have fairness. Think about how YouTube, this is what we get from big systems. For those of us that make YouTube videos where we discuss issues like this, we see it all the time. Big companies could do stuff, but individual peoples that actually help build the platform, they will strike them, demolish their videos, keep them from making money, while allowing the big companies to do whatever they want to the so-called guidelines. Our laws here in this country have been effed up from the beginning on purpose to make sure that the Caucasian males that run the country, well, and company, because USA is a corporation, but that run this corporation would be able to do anything they want to anybody else, to include the regular round the way white male, Afro-Indigenous people, all right, through their laws, and they rewrite the laws to always benefit themselves. The people that they allow to exploit the law the most are women. And at no point can you ever see such rancid misuse of fairness than in this case right here. My final thoughts, brothers and sisters, we need to let the simps, along with the BAWs, hit that wall. If we're going to unite with somebody, they're showing you that you have a better chance at a good life with anyone than the BAW. Remember, they're busy demon worshiping, as in they're worshiping Beyonce. They're busy jumping off of buildings to kill a child to prevent the father from getting the child in court, and killing themselves with the child. Or they'll just outright put the child in the middle of the street in the hopes that the child would get run over in the winter, in snow, in the middle of the night. This is the BAW. Now, according to Gloria Steinem, they're the ones that trained her in feminism. And that's why you see there's a difference between the women of women's suffrage and these women now. These women that are feminists are acting like what they think the black woman would act like. And they got all their training and tutelage and organization from the black women of the 70s movement. And now you understand why this country is falling apart. With that said, I'm out.